CBS Sports 24 Most Impactful Stories of 2024 Kansas City Chiefs Caitlin Clark 12-team CFP vie for no one. Simone Biles, Freddie Freeman, and LeBron and Bronny James all contributed memorable moments. As 2024 comes to a close, now is as good a time as ever to reflect upon the last 12 months in sports. Between the Olympics, a back-to-back Super Bowl champion, an unforgettable rookie season, and much more, we won't soon forget the biggest sports stories from this past year. Early in the year, the Kansas City Chiefs cemented their place on this list by becoming just the 8th team all-time to win back-to-back Super Bowl titles. The fact that it came in such dramatic fashion, winning just the second overtime game in Super Bowl history, made it even more memorable. In the summer, the world got together in Paris to compete in the 2024 Olympics. The United States fared well and produced some inspiring performances, with none better than Simone Biles completing her comeback to win all-round gold in gymnastics. Everywhere from the track to the basketball court, the U.S. managed to make international headlines. Even in a summer that contained a deluge of Olympic moments, Caitlin Clark dominated the front page of news outlets everywhere, while the WNBA continued its explosion of popularity. Clark led an exciting rookie class into the league, and fans responded by flocking to women's basketball game in record numbers. While those stories were among the very biggest from 2024, there were still plenty more. Shohei Ohtani had an eventful first season in a Los Angeles Dodgers uniform. The Boston Celtics raised their 18th banner, and LeBron James became one half of the first father-son duo to play together in the NBA. Without any further ado, let's jump into the 24 most impactful sports stories of 2024. 24. Geno Auriemma wins record. Geno Auriemma already had the resume to make a case for himself as the greatest college basketball coach of all time, but now he has the win total to prove it. Just last month, Auriemma notched his 1,217th career victory to become the winningest basketball coach in the history of Division I basketball. Auriemma got that historic win with an 85-41 victory over Fairleigh Dickinson, and it propelled him past longtime Stanford coach Tara Vanderveer. Since taking over at UConn in 1985, Auriemma has turned the program into a perennial powerhouse. In addition to his freshly broken all-time wins record, here are a few more eye-popping numbers from his tenure. 111 straight wins from 2014 to 2017, 29 regular season conference championships, 28 conference tournament titles, 11 national championships, 8 Naismith Coach of the Year awards. Auriemma will only continue adding to his win total, and possibly more, throughout the 2024-25 season and beyond. Led by superstar Paige Bueckers, the Huskies are the No. 4 team in America with their sights set on another banner. And last summer, the 70-year-old coach signed a 5-year extension. Good luck trying to catch him. 23. Cody Rhodes wins undisputed WWE title at WrestleMania XL. The match for the undisputed WWE Universal title belt was a true spectacle that delivered on multiple fronts. It completed a comeback arc that began years ago, and it featured some of the biggest names from the WWE's past and present. The title match began simply, with Cody Rhodes and defending champion Roman Reigns squaring off in the ring. But it certainly didn't end that way. The chaos began with Reigns getting help from the likes of Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa, and ended with superstars like John Cena and Seth Rollins lending Rhodes a hand. One of the biggest pops of the night came when The Rock entered the ring for the first time in 11 years. The Rock was even choke-slammed in a brief cameo appearance by The Undertaker. The match ended with Rhodes hitting a trio of crossroads on Reigns to get a 3 count and the win. That victory for Rhodes was special on a number of levels. For starters, it completed a story arc that began in 2022, when he returned to the WWE after a few years with AEW. On top of that, Rhodes was able to earn the title belt that eluded his father, Dusty Rhodes, throughout his wrestling career. 22. Athletics, Coyotes find new homes. This year, 2 different Big Four franchises announced relocation. The Oakland A's, led by owner John Fisher, revealed plans to move to Las Vegas via Sacramento. The other team, the Arizona Coyotes, were sold and moved to Salt Lake City after years of turmoil in the Phoenix area. The A's officially announced their relocation plans after rejecting a 5-year lease to remain at the Oakland Coliseum. After 56 years in Oakland, the team played its final game in the city on September 29, a 6-4 loss to the Seattle Mariners. That game marked the end of Major League Sports in Oakland, with the Warriors leaving for San Francisco in 2019 and the Raiders heading for Sin City in early 2020. As part of their move, the A's will play in Sutter Health Park, which holds roughly 14,000 fans from 2025 to 27, while their new Las Vegas stadium is built. Their future home will be built on the former site of the Tropicana Casino. Once the move is complete, it will mark the fourth Major League Sports team in Las Vegas with the NFL, NHL, and WNBA already there. The Coyotes' move was one that had been in the works for a while. Former owner Alex Meruelo failed to get approval for a permanent home in Phoenix, Tempe, or Tucson, and the team had spent 2 seasons sharing an arena with Arizona State's hockey team. The Coyotes' time in Arizona was marred by instability and financial troubles, but the franchise got a fresh start when Utah Jazz owner Ryan Smith stepped in to buy the team. Smith moved the team to Salt Lake City and renamed it the Utah Hockey Club, with permanent name yet to be announced. The Coyotes were the first NHL team to relocate since the Atlanta Thrashers moved up to Winnipeg in 2011, and the A's are the first MLB team to relocate since the Montreal Expos moved to Washington, D.C. in 2004-21. Jake Paul defeats Mike Tyson. Perhaps the biggest combat spectacle of the year was the boxing match between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. The legendary boxer and the social media star-turned-boxer squared off in front of a massive crowd at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. But the fight went the way you would expect when one of the combatants is closer to 60 than 40. Those hoping to see some version of Prime Tyson, even a diminished version, were disappointed. It has been 19 years since Tyson's last professional bout, and it showed. Some even questioned the bout's legitimacy. Paul, 31 years younger than the 58-year-old Tyson, simply had more gas in the tank. The fight did go all 8 rounds, but it mostly consisted of Paul running around Tyson and scoring jabs, while the aging legend struggled to keep up. In the end, Paul won by unanimous decision as Tyson simply wasn't able to land any devastating blows on his much younger opponent, landing 18 punches through the entire fight. After his victory, Paul tipped his cap to Tyson, referring to him as the GOAT. But what is the next step for Paul is in his boxing career? Will he try to fight more active boxers and work his way to a world title? As for Tyson, he suggested his time in the ring may not be over, but it remains to be seen whether he will get another bout on the books. 20. U.S. basketball teams take down France to win gold. The United States had a good showing at the Paris Games, and the basketball teams were no exception. The men and women both flexed some muscle against the rest of the world on the court, and they both earned the gold medal with hard-fought games against the host nation. In the preliminary round, the men rolled to a 3-0 record without much resistance, posting a plus 64-point differential in the process. The first knockout round game against Brazil wasn't very competitive either as the Americans erupted for a 122-87 win. The rest of the tournament was a little more difficult. In the semifinal, Nikola Jokic and Serbia led the U.S. by 11 points at halftime. That's when Steph Curry stepped up and hit some big shots to ignite a comeback. He finished the game with 36 points and shot 64.3% from beyond the three-point line.